Hey guys, Ken97171, back with an ATS video. We are back in the Kenworth T680. We're headed from Phoenix, Arizona to Odessa, Texas. Um, so our route is going to be basically all the way down I-10, Tucson, past Las Cruces, past El Paso. It's funny how Cruces has so much more detail and El Paso has basically none, even though El Paso is like way bigger. Van Horn, Odessa. So it's a short trip, 750 miles. I did turn off fatigue. We hadn't taken a break. And again, this is a shorter video. We can easily do this in one trip. So we're just going to go for it. I haven't driven this for a while. It does have a 765 horsepower Cummins in it with a Allison TC10 transmission, which is what it had in it last time we drove it. And it would be really helpful to put it in gear. Not that heavy, 32,000 pounds. It was the heaviest load I could find that wasn't going that far. Don't really feel like doing a long distance trip.
Turn right.
Well, she's quiet.
Go straight on.
We actually, I believe we have enough fuel to get there, but let's just see here. Tucson, we can stop in El Paso at our facility right here. 500 miles should be more than enough. Let's see. Is there a closer one? There is, but I just was thinking you get fuel cheaper at your own facilities. Actually, we're still in Phoenix, our own facilities right here. So we'll just, well, there's a fuel stop right there. Just pay a
Ready
little,
to roll.
pay a little more for the fuel. It's not worth the time spent to go back. All topped up. Boy, this thing is quiet. Let me back up. I had it turned down before. I don't know if that affects. And I can't see.
Get ready to turn right. Turn right. Keep right, and then turn right. Turn right.
We were just here.
Keep left.
One thing is when you switch, at least I think so, when you switch into a new truck from wherever you were, it always takes you back to your home original garage, even if the truck was not stored at that location, I think, which is kind of weird. Man, this thing is quiet. Never driven one of these in real life. Didn't have to use the brakes at all there.
Go straight on.
We're going to be straight on I-10 until we get to 20. Take I-20 to Odessa. Well, the speed limit's probably 65 for a reason through there. That's a little uncomfortable. Could probably move the seat forward a bit since we have the digital mirrors. Nice headlights. Oh, the high beams are on though. The low beams are way better. Not surprised. There we go. There's no real, fog lights and bull bars and stuff available for this truck. Basically is as it is. Some custom paint jobs.
Keep left.
And let's just stay behind this truck through the corner. See how it's got nice illumination? You can see just below the side mirror there how much light goes out to the sides, illuminating that left corner so nicely. Something a lot of the trucks in the game don't have. Even with fog lights, it doesn't really, just throws more light out in front of you, but doesn't really help to the sides. And that side area is really important, you know? Also turned on realistic fuel consumption.
Keep left. Go straight on. Keep left.
That came up on me a little fast. And then as I went to go for the brake pedal, my leg got tangled up in the fucking keyboard cord somehow.
Keep left. Go straight on.
Tell you, this Allison 10 speed is pretty nice. Curious to see if it's really used in any on-road trucks. I know actually, Kenworth, I just saw a video of a real video, a video of a real truck. It was a heavy haul truck. Was that Kenworth 800? I don't know. It's I think they're just continuing it along with the W900 this year, but it's the more square fronted. It's got a bit of a slope, but you see it a lot with like super heavy haul stuff. Big 45,000 pound axles behind it, and 3 axles, and heavier duty front axles, big wide tires on the front, that kind of thing. 4-wheel drive, I think, maybe even the front axles. Anyway, she was brand new rig, all decked out
Go
on the
straight
interior, ton of options, and that one had an Allison RD 4500 or 4700, which we've seen in the game. It's a 6-speed, I think, transmission. I'm not totally sure, 6 or 7, but then it had a 4-speed spicer behind it. So the idea is, if you're hauling super heavy stuff slow, you put the spicer gear, you put the secondary transmission in a lower gear, and then let the automatic do the work for whatever's appropriate for the speed and weight you're hauling. It's not something I don't think you shift on the fly. I think you do it while you're sitting in neutral. I don't know if you can shift on the fly with it. I don't think so. Maybe if you take the load off the engine and trans, maybe you can get it to go between one or the other. I don't know. But that was kind of neat. It was, those trucks can be, they that way it can do any kind of work. You can put it in a higher gear ratio and do a load like I'm doing that doesn't weigh much. But if you need to haul, 150,000 pound whatever, um, you put it in the appropriate load range and let the Allison do the work for you. Yeah, those heavy duty Allison transmissions are pretty astounding.
Go straight on.
Kind of fun to drive a new truck design. I do think this truck is a beautiful looking rig. That's that same fucking bump we went over once before. I'd be curious to know if that bump's actually there. So right past. So before you get to Cruces, be interesting to drive out there and see if it's actually there somewhere. Because that's a hell of a bump. When we were driving the car carrier, all right, we'll pull in. As we've discovered, you don't actually need to pull into the way stations. A hell of an engine brake.
Finding a new route.
That engine
Go
brakes
straight on.
engine brake is a bit aggressive. Neck's hurting a little bit today. I'm a little bit tired today too, guys. I haven't been awake that long, but I didn't work last night. Alarm went off and felt like I hadn't slept at all. Thursdays have been dead, and it's the week after Cinco de Mayo, so I don't think it's going to be that busy. I heard a good one though when I was out working on last weekend. I had one guy call it Cinco de Drinko, and another guy called it Drinko de Mayo. Why the fuck is this guy in the left lane? Oh my God. Because that car exited out and slowed down. God, fucking annoying when that happens. This fucking guy is just driving along in the left lane for no fucking reason. Fucking steering wheel holder. If I had to pick a truck that was probably my favorite, I'd say the W900. Oh my God, why, dude? Why did you do that? Because the car exited, and shit like this happens in real life all the time. And now here we are going 50 fucking miles an hour on the interstate. It takes 5 years to reaccelerate, and it's extremely annoying. Look how bright the headlights are. To the side. Don't ever do that, guys, in the game. Uh, come on, you fucktard. Get out of the way. Air pressure low. Again, it's the fucking automatic braking causing that. Constantly on and off the brakes. You would not do that in real life. You would not apply the brakes. It would just get off the throttle and use engine brake. God. This section of the road is where we could haul ass if they get the fuck out of the left lane. Why is the engine brake not coming on when I get out of the throttle? Jesus Christ. Okay, there it is. And then they change lanes.
Keep left.
Should be coming into El Paso now. I am going to slow it down a bit. Um, you can go through here pretty fast in a car, but
Keep left.
the curves are a bit extreme in some places. Speed limit's 60 in real life, which is kind of ridiculous for cars. People fly through here going 70 plus, but in a rig, there is some abrupt curves, and they can kind of sneak up on you. And in the daytime, when there's a lot of traffic, you can come around a corner here and there's a car going slow in the middle lane or the left lane. That shit happens all the time. They've really done a good job showing the city areas. The little arch lights there on the overpasses, those are actually there. They're talking about building a gigantic plaza. This whole section here that we're driving through will be a giant tunnel, and they're going to do a park, a ground level park above it. So those arches there on the crossovers, those are there and they're lit. Pretty cool. They have them right
Keep
there
left.
too. This is 54, which goes north towards Alamogordo. Actually, never driven up there in the game. It's a bigger intersection than it shows there. This truck is exceptionally quiet compared to those other trucks, which, as I've said, I love the big engine noises and the straight pipes and all that for about 5 minutes. These little wind turbines here that are sticking up, those used to work. I don't think they do anymore, but they are actually there. I think they shut them down. There was some talk that they were going to remove them because they are distracting to drivers
Keep left.
when they're spinning. So maybe the compromise was to just lock them down so they can't spin. I don't know. Well, the camera seems to be moving around a lot. The eye tracking. Yeah. One of the things that they don't have, we're already in Van Horn, and that's 54 going that way. And then there's a loop around it. I don't know why they don't have the loop because it's a major road. Um, but there probably isn't enough room. I don't know how they would do it. Um, it it goes. Um, it's too compressed. Like this is 62 180 here. Um, the airport's like right here, but there's not enough room. I think that's why they didn't do it. But there's another one of these. And this is a bigger intersection than they show here. But there's a major, almost as big as one you'd see in Dallas. There's a big ass spaghetti bowl right here. It's actually the Horizon. This exit right here is for Horizon. It's actually before that. Um, so I think that's why they don't have it. There's just too much space. It would only go like there to there, and it's way bigger than that. Um, there's another highway 601 that runs through the city. They definitely don't have El Paso. Like I mentioned before, they have Las Cruces pretty well filled out, and it would make it look like a lot. I mean, El Paso is like 5 times the size of Cruces, so it's kind of odd to me that they haven't more properly developed El Paso. There you've got the 375 loop, you've got 601 that runs between 54, but I think they've got the geometry wrong here because um, 601 runs from 54 over to 375, which goes across 62 and up and around. So they just had a massive accident. You may see it on the news. Um, it's about a 3,000 foot climb up and over Trans Mountain High. You actually go over the Franklin Mountains, which are just west of 54 here, and 375 goes up and over. Um, this way it's pretty windy on the east side of the mountains, and then on the west side it's basically just a straight shot right down to I-10. Truck lost its brakes. Going, I guess something happened going down this long straightaway, and basically there's an intersection at the bottom here, and it went right through the intersection, crashed into 11 cars, killed at least one person. The truck exploded. It's a mess. You can find it on the news. It looked like the scene looked like a war zone. It was amazing and terrifying. Um, they're talking about now maybe banning trucks over Trans Mountain, which quite frankly is not a bad idea. What um, if you are a truck driver and you're going through El Paso, there's a couple of ways you could go around. You could solve that. The east side of 375, this section over here is completely flat. The hilly part comes after 54. So if you're trying to bypass El Paso, what you would do is take 375 north to 54 north to the Anthony Gap. There is a road that goes between 54 back to I-10 that's west of the 375 loop, and it's mostly flat. So if you're trying to get around El Paso, that's a good way to do it. You can do it the other way too. Take Anthony Gap. I don't know what the exit number is. Take Anthony Gap um, in New Mexico into 54, and then you could take 54 to 375 or 54 to I-10, whatever you want. Really, you should be using the Anthony Gap. They're talking about maybe extending Anthony Gap and making another bypass all the way around. It's just flatter terrain through there. So, okay, enough of that shit. Let's get back to driving. As you can tell, I'm very familiar with the area. Excuse me for a second, guys. Really do not like coming in and out of a game like that. Always messes with me. Yeah, we got daytime coming. At some point, the speed limit goes to 80. Right there. By the way, I did look. If you turn the fatigue simulator back on, it looks like it just starts right where it was. So it doesn't reset. It just, if you had 45 minutes left,
Keep left.
it comes back at 45 minutes. Beautiful sunrise here, guys. So I think I've decided to wait on my steering wheel. What I have works. I don't hate it. Kind of used to it. I think what I'm going to do is upgrade the TV first. Because that's a multi-use situation. TV I have it's very nice. It's Vizio, but it's like 10 or 12 years old now. And 1080p, the refresh rate's not really high, of course. So I think it would be, the TV would be useful for movies, gaming. It's got a high refresh rate. I'm looking at the Hisense U7, about $700 for a 65-inch. Does 144 hertz. It's HDR. It's got all the stuff you want for as a gaming TV. for a reasonable price. They make a 55-inch, which I wouldn't mind, but I can't find one. Closest one is 300 miles away. And on Amazon, it's available for the same price as it is retail. Thought about just ordering it on Amazon and let them deliver it, rather than trying to arrange somebody, because I don't think it'll fit in my car in the box. Now I could, take my friend's car, take his minivan or something, but I don't know. Price is the same, just as easy. Just don't press a button on my phone and have it delivered. My only fear would be that Amazon delivery would come via UPS and be damaged, and then you're dealing with that. Whereas if you get it at Best Buy, you can get the warranty on it, or it comes with a 2-year parts and labor warranty anyway. Probably wouldn't need it. But I was watching a guy who does TV tests, and it was basically the most bargain, cheapest, least expensive. But he said, it has everything you need. There are some that have more stuff, but I don't do any like super high frame rate gaming, first person shooter stuff, and ATS doesn't really stress it that much. Where I notice is when you do like this, sometimes you'll get tearing when you look left and right really quick, especially when you're using your mouse. You'll see some tearing across as the refresh rate. But 144 hertz would be more than enough to take care of that. It would be 4K. I'd probably run in 1440p, or I'd try 4K and see. I just don't know. I'm a little afraid my video card won't drive it, and at 4K, and then so I guess I could try 1440 or run it in 1080p, but you still have the advantage of the higher refresh rate and a bigger screen by 50. It's 15 inches bigger diameter, bigger diagonally. So I think the route I want to take. I got pedals, got a steering wheel. It works okay. It's not great. There's some things I don't like about it, but there's nothing wrong with it.
Keep left.
There's nothing wrong with the TV I have. It works. It's just it could use an upgrade. There are plenty of people that do simulator racing with this Logitech wheel that I have. Don't plan on getting a shifter, I don't think. Can always add it later, but I don't know. It's not really realistic, honestly, guys. I drove a truck. It's not going to feel right, not going to be right. Why not just let the game do the shifting? The only thing I don't like about the Moza is it doesn't have paddle. At least the trucking wheel does not have shift paddles. You could get just the R5 bundle, which has this smaller steering wheel. Still has 1800 degrees of rotation, but a smaller wheel. It does have shift paddles. Excuse me, guys. Problem with that is if you want to go to the trucking wheel later, the wheel alone is $250. What I need to find out is what does a regular R5 wheel cost. I think the better deal might be to buy the trucking bundle, and then if I want the other wheel, the trucking wheel has some nice things on it. It's got turn signals, high beam, low beam, cruise control. Boy, this truck is quiet, isn't it? Mm, 80 miles to go, guys. I guess one of the problems is that it's kind of boring in a way, driving a super nice quiet truck. Let me tell you though, in real life, if I was going to go back into trucking, I would prefer a new truck that's quiet with tech. That's just me. I drove. Doesn't even have to be fancy, but just, would I want to drive a 1950s semi truck? No, not really. Is it interesting in the game? Is it kind of fun for short haul stuff? Yeah, absolutely. And maybe it would be fun if you were just doing short haul stuff, heavy haul, short haul, probably be fine. See if they make a stop. Please pull in for.
Recomputing.
How about you guys? But I do think it's a very attractive truck. Has definitely more styling than the Freightliner Cascadia. I like the teardrop kind of curve in the headlights. God, I put set the cruise control, let off the throttle, and then the radar cruise got out of the throttle. We lost our momentum there. And this is the problem with some of these automated systems. You know, it'll upshift a gear when you know that you're about to, get to the top of the hill. Oh my God. And then he gets right back over. Why? Just in time to slow me the fuck down and then right back over. Oh my God.
Keep right, and then exit right.
Part in some ways, the least stressful thing you can do
Exit right.
is just leave the radar cruise on and just let just go. Like, don't worry about your speed. Just go along, maintain a safe distance, and let people
Get
pass you.
ready to turn left.
But it is frustrating when you know you could be going, faster. No, two-way service road.
Turn left.
We have a green light. We do. For some reason, I'm finding those traffic lights hard to see. Not really sure why. Maybe the sun from behind them.
Keep right, and then turn right. Turn right.
Be interesting to see. We have to yield to that guy coming off the highway. If you've never been around Texas two-way service roads, they are definitely interesting. Difficult at night when you're coming the opposite direction. You have to yield to the people coming off the highway. You've got to turn your head like basically backwards to see people coming. You really need to be looking as you're coming along to see if anybody's coming down the ramp.
Get
It's
ready to turn left.
it's you can be difficult.
Turn left.
This truck drives a lot like a car. It really does.
You have arrived at your destination. Your route guidance is now finished.
Let's see what pain in the ass parking space they give us. It's going to be right over there. because some dickhead parks his fucking um, forklift. You know what you do? You learn how to drive one of those things, and you get in it, and you put it over there and move it. That's what you do. And then this dumb fuck leaves his truck parked right there. Nope, we fucked that all up. I should say I fucked that all up. Can't quite get the visual angle. The best view actually would be that, but with the head tracking, I can't do that. I don't have a dedicated button for. Um, Actually, I ought to. I don't know if it'll let me. Right now I have engine on and parking brake as two buttons on the steering wheel, but I have those on my button box now, duplicated. So I could maybe dedicate those to looking left, looking right. I don't know. So that's about the best thing we can do is that. Yeah, we definitely hit him. Fuck off. It's like, well, if you hadn't parked your fucking truck someplace stupid, like, why don't you just park your fucking pig over there in a parking space out of the fucking way? Okay, you know what? This is stupid. I am stupid, in case you didn't notice. The answer to this is so easy, and it's because I didn't do what you should always do. Take a look at your fucking parking lot. Look at the parking space. Look what's directly. I just saw it from the third person view. Hit this big empty lot right over here. All I had to do was turn my truck into this way, and look, the parking space is right there. So all I have to do is pull up this way, line it up, and straight back right into there instead of fucking around. It's a habit I have in real life too. Not figuring out where to put the truck to get to the best angle, but I do tend to overcompensate the steering wheel a little bit, turn too much, and end up wiggle waggling it. One problem in the game is, of course, you're going from one truck to the other a lot. They all drive a little different. Oh, do you want to skip the backing up now that we're in the fucking parking space? Yeah, I feel like I overdid that there. Small moves. All right, guys, that'll be it for this trip. That ended up being an hour-long drive. I didn't really expect it. Boy, that is a pretty damn good-looking truck, I gotta say. They don't have a They don't have a, day cab version of it. But it is. I think it is a good-looking rig. You know, it's the replacement for the W900. That's big shoes to fill. But if you're going to make a modern truck, give it some style. And I think they did a good job there. Headlights are unique. Front's still got that Kenworth look a bit. I think they did a pretty good job. All right, guys, that'll be it for this video. Ken's 97 Stowe signing.